Alrighty, hello everyone. It is Wednesday again. Last week, the adventurers made their way out into the city of Baldur's Gate. You guys spent a bit of time at the Silver Spire Magical Emporium, exchanging some of your useless magical items for ones that could help you along your journey. And then you started to make your way to the Golden Bubble bathhouse. As you were traveling through the upper city, through the market square, you were accosted by a group of knights that were after Mavathor's shield. They proclaimed that the shield had been stolen from one of the noble families of the city, and they were seeking its return to its rightful owners. But Mavathor was uninterested in relinquishing his possession, and so the Knights of the Shield attacked you in the streets of the upper city, where many of the nobles setting up their shops for a festival happening soon in the upper city kind of fled the market square, and one of the knights turned into a cambion, an abyssal creature. You fought them in the street, and the demon, fearing he might lose the fight, tried to flee, but you managed to bring him back down to the ground. He tried to abscond with Sylvie's crown, and just before he was out of range, you guys brought him back, and now he kind of lays flat on his face on the cobblestones. One of the knights fled somewhere between the market stalls, and that is where we ended the session last week. So now you're all standing in the market square. Most of the denizens of the city are nowhere to be found, and so it's kind of just a couple of knights that are still there with the cambion. His kind of leathery red wings are sprawled out, and your crown, Sylvie's, kind of rolled off a few feet from him.
Put it back on.
Thirstwell says, trouble just follows you all wherever you go, doesn't it?
Unfortunately. We'll keep you safe, though, I promise.
The, if you do search the bodies, the cambion doesn't really have anything besides his spear, and he's wearing a suit of scale mail armor. You could make an investigation check as well, though, for the other knights.
Okay. Ooh, Crayley, look at you. Mr. Sleuth over here.
Let's see. These are
A magnifying glass.
guards, hired knights of a noble family, so they probably have a little bit more gold than you find between the humanoids. 39 gold, and you find like a piece of parchment crumpled up in one of their pockets that has like physical descriptions of the four of you written on them.
Oh, lovely.
Interesting.
Hey, Mavathor.
Mm-hmm.
Why were Cambions coming after your shield?
It's a good question. I'm not entirely sure as to the why, but it is slightly concerning that one of the royal families is also interested in something related to the lower planes. This might be worth reporting to the guards should they ever arrive.
Hmm. Good point.
Agreed. Anything stand out on that note just besides like descriptions of us? Just very bare bones.
Bare bones, yeah.
Bare bones, cool. Was everyone okay though after that?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
I got my crown back. That's all that matters.
Do we hear any guards potentially approaching our location?
I would say maybe, depending on how long you hang around, a few guards do eventually show up. They have the new Ravens Guards tabards on them, which are like a kind of a white and royal trimmed in like a royal purple. There's a large circle on the chest with a like a raven's beak, a raven's head, like upturned. I think at this point, probably many of the Ravens Guard know of the four of you at least. They see the devil in the street, and one of them just says, they kind of can see what's gone on, and one of them says, I was hoping the attacks of the city were over. What's happened here?
Well, these individuals seemed very interested in an item I'm carrying, but they claim to be from one of the royal families. Did they mention which royal family? I believe it started with an A.
I think it was the Hunes.
The Hunes, okay, yeah. They claim to be part of the Hune royal family, and also part of an organization called the Knights of the Shield.
One of them takes out like a parchment pad and they're like writing stuff down. He says, I suppose it's good that you were here and nobody was, injured or killed. We can have these bodies taken care of if you like, and we'll perhaps pay a visit to the Hunes.
That'd be wise.
If you don't wish to do so on your own. Just for my report here, what item was it that they're seeking?
It's a shield. Aptly named for, I guess, their organization taking a weird interest in shields.
Is this the first time you've had an encounter with these knights?
Yes.
It looks like there's only a few bodies here. I would imagine that may not be the first attempt. I would keep an eye out. Perhaps it might help if you were to stow the shield away somewhere safe if you have people trying to steal it from you, or...
Well, sounded like they had a description of us, so I don't know how much good stowing the shield is going to do, but...
I'll present that parchment that we found to him, this individual.
They pick it up. We can have this handwriting compared to any samples we have of the Hune family. I'm sure that they have plenty of documentation signed somewhere in the city records.
Yes, it would certainly be troubling if more than one family here in Baldur's Gate was associated with an infernal cult.
Yes, the Van Thampers have fallen quite far in a matter of days. But, good riddance as far as I'm concerned.
Avthor will kind of like side eye Thorstwell.
Yeah. Thorstwell kind of like looks, he's like looking at his feet, like kicking a stone.
No, I believe everything's in order. I strongly believe the Raven's Guard should pursue this because you have the legal authority in this city.
Yes, of course, we will follow up on this incident and go and speak with the Hune family. And we will make sure that proper action is taken if we can expose any of their involvement in this incident.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Suppose we don't need any more information from the four of you. If you have other business, you're welcome to be on your way. We'll have this taken care of.
Avthor will then start walking towards the original destination.
You guys make your way through the rest of the upper city towards the northern walls of Baldur's Gate, where the golden bubble has recently opened for business. It's quite easy to pick out as you kind of round a corner to a wider thoroughfare through the upper city. You see a large wooden structure about a half a city block long, wooden, painted in gold trim. You see out of like the chimney stack and some of the windows, there are little bubbles kind of flowing out into the streets of the city. You find a set of two large wooden doors near the central northern part of the establishment. You can hear from outside like someone playing some sort of stringed instrument, of violin or something, and kind of like a ethereal voice sort of singing a gentle tune. What would you guys like to do? I'll put your tokens on the map here. You guys can also, like if the map is visible anytime, just plop yourselves down as well.
Oh. Thank you.
Tiny Krayley.
I'm so tiny. I drank one of those potions on the way here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go into the little garden area because I have a newfound appreciation for nature.
So you just like walk through the lobby straight to the gardens? You come through, you hear a voice at the front counter. Miss, and like then you're just gone. In the garden areas, you can actually hear. Like you don't see any birds or anything, but there's like this musical chirping sound. You can see the origin of where the music is coming from. There's a woman like standing on an edge of a raised stone platform that wraps around the garden. She's got a violin to her chin and she's singing. You can see uh, as you kind of like walk out into the little cobbled pathway, you see like a little black cat like dart from one bush to another across um, the garden. Um, you can see like a woman with a balancing a serving tray on one hand that has a couple of plates and a bottle of wine with some wine glasses on it, and she's like walking down towards the bard who's playing and singing.
I'm gonna go over to the cat.
It like as you're like coming down the pathway, you kind of like see it crouching in a little bed of flowers, like wiggling its butt and flicking its tail. And as you get close, it like pounces out at you and like taps your foot and then like runs in another direction, like off into the bushes again.
Can I like roll insight to see if this means anything?
Sure. This is not the thing you sent me a message about.
Okay.
This is just a cat playing.
All right.
Yeah. But yeah, it looks like the cat's just being playful with you. You see
Okay.
you kind of lose sight of it in the foliage, but then you see its like little ears slowly peek up out of the flowers, and you can see its like big yellow
Aw.
eyes like looking at you, and then it like slowly crouches back down. It's got a collar on, and it's like really what's giving it away is any time it moves, there's a little bell that jingles on its collar, so it's like it can't really hide from you.
That's so cute. I'm gonna see if I can coax it over.
Sure. Make an animal handling check. What are the rest of you guys doing?
Probably just going to the counter.
Yeah, Delos and
Oh, man.
Thirstwell walk in. You recognize the person at the entryway. There are a couple guards seated at a table, like as you come in. They've got their spears leaning up against the wall. Krayley, you recognize the person behind the counter. There's like a ledger and a little pile of seashells that if you take like a closer look, you can actually tell like they're little bars of soap.
Okay.
There's like a fish tank with some exotic looking fish on one end of the counter. Behind her, there's like a row of little ledgers. And you notice the woman back there is Cormilla, the person from the steaming nymph. And she says, "Well, look who the cat dragged in. It's nice to see you all again. I see that Dolos got my invitation."
Yes, he did, and good to see you as well, Camilla.
Why, thank you. Well, welcome to the Golden Bubble. My new place of business. I have to say that I am enjoying it here quite a bit more.
It seems like quite the upgrade.
Indeed, and I'm proud to say that it is. I own and run the place.
Impressive.
So, what have you come for? A nice bubble bath? Care to have some afternoon lunch? I have an open table.
Afternoon lunch sounds good to me.
Yeah, we've been in a little bit of a tussle, so
Well, the spas are open today as well. Maybe we can get you fed and bathed.
That would be greatly appreciated. And
Um,
can I ask how much this will cost?
she says, well, seeing as you likely saved my life from the clutches of inevitable death from bands of cultists from my previous place of employment, I would say that today it is my treat.
How generous.
She says, here, let me come out from behind the counter and get you all seated. And she walks out right this way. The dining room is over here.
Do we see Sylvie in the garden?
There's like a two large openings where you can kind of see the gardens from the inner dining room. So yeah, you can kind of see her kind of leaned over, like in the garden with her hand out, trying to coax something to come in her direction. She says, why don't you all have a seat here? And she like takes a couple menus from the woman standing at the podium as you enter the dining hall. She says, here, there are three specials today. We have a dwarven stout stew, a griffin's roost roast chicken, and a mermaid's delight seafood platter. Dessert would be a chocolate enchantment cake, and we do have a few assorted pastries as well that I've baked just this morning. Could I get you started with a drink, perhaps a mystic brew coffee or a moonlit elixir punch?
The punch sounds pretty good. I'll have that.
Yeah, I'll have the moonlight drink. That sounds interesting.
Two moonlight elixir punches. All right, those will be coming right up, and someone will be along shortly to take your food orders as well. I'll make sure that your companion joins you eventually. I'll have another chair brought over.
And don't mind her. She's just going through a lot emotionally.
In the meantime, I'll have a charcuterie board set out. And she like wanders off into the kitchen, and then back towards the front. Animal handling 4. You like hear the bell jingle through the underbrush, and then the cat like darts out and kind of swipes at you again with its paw, and then kind of jumps into the bushes again on the other side.
Do I notice that they like left like the area? Like the entryway?
You can make a perception check.
Okay.
Yeah, you saw them led into Cormilla. You saw them led by Cormilla, who you recognized, into like an adjoining room from the lobby.
Okay. I go inside. Follow them.
The hostess brings over another chair, sets it down there for you, Sylvie, and she says, I see you were playing with Moonlight. She's a fan of tag.
Oh. Oh no. Oh, that's okay. There we go.
Could I get you a coffee or a moonlit elixir punch?
Oh. The punch sounds fancy. I'll take that.
Right, I think I'll just have a picture of it brought out for you all. And another serving person comes out of the kitchens and sets down a pitcher of the this like silvery-looking liquid. You can see like bubbles coming up from the center and kind of popping as they reach the surface. With a set of glasses, she sets them down with a board of meats and cheeses and like a spread of jam along one end. She says, I'll be back in a bit to take your food order. Cormillus told us all about you and how you saved the city from those horrid cultists. So we're all thankful.
Glad we
We
could
were
help.
just happy. Yeah.
And she kind of heads back into the kitchen area. There's like a table of noblemen. They sound like they're discussing some kind of dock business. They seem like maybe they're like importers, exporters. They're talking about some recent shipments of exotic silks that came over from the Moonshay Isles recently that they're going to make a killing on, and that their glamour weave's been selling like crazy at the Silver Spire. It's almost gone. What has Sylvie kind of made her glamour weave armor look like today?
I think she still kind of has it in like the flowy dress. It's got. I feel like it has like a little bit of silk, kind of comfortable, but like not too much to where it's like I'm gonna trip over this. And then of course she still has her cloak on.
Cormilla comes back after a bit. She says, "Well, how have you all been since I last saw you?"
I've been better.
I'd say exhausted.
Yeah, that's a
We
big
keep
one.
running into unsavory individuals, I would say.
Well, things have been eventful, to say the least, in this last week in the city. But it seems like things have been calming down, at least around these parts. I'm sorry to hear that you've been running into trouble still, though. I suppose that's sort of the life of your type, though. You've gotten yourselves involved with, Captain Lightheart and the Raven's Guard and all that business. I suppose the action may never stop for you.
Suppose so. We're planning to depart for El Terrell here in a few days.
Oh, I have never been myself, but I heard that it's a lovely city, quite clean. I don't recognize you. You weren't with my friends here the last time that I met them.
Yes.
Sorry, Camilla. This is Mavathor.
He'll hold his hand out to her.
She takes your hand and does kind of a bit of a low curtsy. She says, "Well, a pleasure to meet you, Malathor. Sorry to say, but it looks like you all have even just recently been in a scrap." And she, like, reaches her hand out and, like, wipes a little dry blood off your cheek.
Yeah. Can't seem to catch a break these days.
Well, the water is flowing in the baths today, and we've just got some special bubble baths in, so they're quite sudsy. And there is currently only one other bather, so you'll have the tubs mostly to yourself.
Fantastic.
An interesting looking woman just arrived here in the city from Candlekeep. I believe she's some sort of sage or scholar. We didn't talk much yet, but she seemed like an important woman.
She seemed friendly enough.
Friendly enough. Seemed kind of in a rush.
Is she still
Seems
here?
Yes, she's still bathing. I suppose once she sunk into the tub, she decided to maybe, put her feet up a bit.
Hmm. I was about to say, it seems slightly oxymoronic to be in a rush and go to a bathhouse.
Well, you know those scholarly types. They like to, keep clean from the dust of the road. I think she arrived on horse alone.
Appreciate the information. She might be someone we should talk to. And then I'll down a glass of that moonlit stuff.
I drink like half the pitcher. I just keep filling up my glass.
Yeah, it's kind of fizzy and carbonated, but the liquid is like very cool, despite not even having any ice in it or anything. It just kind of like slides down and to your bellies and makes you feel kind of lightheaded, almost instantaneously. She says,
Hey, Xander.
"Welcome, Dolos. Can you hear us?" Give him a moment. I did forget to mention there's also an elven garden salad and
Ooh.
dragonfire salsa with magic crisps as well on the appetizer menu.
Ooh.
Dragonfire salsa.
I literally just typed in. I need to start using ChatGPT more because I just typed in, like right now as you guys walked in here, give me a fancy lunch menu for a Dungeons and Dragons game. And it just spit out all this shit. I gotta start using ChatGPT more.
That's so smart.
Work smart, not hard, you know?
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Very true.
But she does say, well, have you guys had a chance to look at the menu? Anything sticking out?
Yeah.
Dragonfire salsas. Looks kind of lit.
Why don't we just get you... Yeah, let's get you all just a bit of everything.
Yeah. Sure.
The dragonfire salsa is made with a fire roasted peppers and dragon fruit. The enchanted crisps will change color with each dip.
Ooh. All
So
right,
fun.
I'll take some of those.
Are you with us, Xander?
I am here.
Nice. You didn't miss much. They just resolved the encounter. Some guards showed up and kind of took some stuff down about what happened with the fight. And you guys just arrived at the Golden Bubble. You've been seated in the dining room, and you're currently speaking with Cormilla. And she says, as she returns to the table and she's taking the orders, and she says, and Dolos, I must say, I'm enjoying your new look.
Thank you, me too. It's definitely an upgrade.
I'm so glad that you received my invitation. I had wanted you all to see firsthand my new establishment.
Oh, yes, I'm very happy to be here.
I never really asked. Was there a reason that Dolos actually wanted to come here?
Delos wanted to come here to cheer up and back Sylvie.
Oh, gotcha. Nice. So it's just a pure act of kindness.
Yeah.
Okay. I dig it. I should get Thirstwell down here too, because he is with you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I should probably launch into the game. I'm tired. I
help.
just ate a lot of food.
It's all good. Thanksgiving, we'll do that to you.
It will.
Carmilla heads back to the kitchen, and a few moments later, just like big couple of the serving people just bring out big trays that's got a little bit of everything on it. Um, they bring out like a bowl of the Elven Garden salad, a big bowl of the Dragonfire salsa with a plate of the color changing chips. They bring out a big um, like a cauldron on like a little boiler with the dwarven stout stew and a couple of the Griffin's roast chickens, and a little platter of Mermaid's Delight seafood as well. So there's like clams and crab's legs, and they just get like a little feast set out on the table for you all.
Oh wow.
Thirstwell reaches out and grabs a crab leg right away, cracks it. He's, oh, my favorite. And he gets like a little butter dripping down his chin.
Aw.
I think Dallas will grab it.
No, go
This
ahead.
stuff looks delicious.
Yeah. Cormilla says, let me know when you're ready for dessert, and I'll get the baths prepared for you. Any special requests while you bathe? Would you like some music? I can give the bard a break from the courtyard and set her into the bathhouse.
Ooh, that would be lovely.
How hot can you make the baths?
Um,
And he'll kind of motion to himself and be like, I'm a tiefling.
yeah, she says, I will get one of them scalding for you. You'll be a lobster by the time you come out.
I hope not, but thank you.
And she says, "Well, enjoy your meal, and let me know if you need anything else, and I'll keep the moon drinks coming."
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sylvie, make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh boy, okay.
You start to feel a little bubbly. You know, you can kind of feel the little bubbles in your belly as the cool liquids kind of sloshing around down there.
You guys should try this. It's really good. It makes you happy.
It's really good, but I'd recommend slowing down a little bit. You have to savor it.
Do we?
I'll pour another drink and try to catch up a little bit.
Thirstwell says, well, Dolos, well, I'd like to know a bit more about your new friends here. It seems as though, you've sort of are growing a bit closer to them.
Yeah. As you can tell, some things have definitely changed. But, yeah, they're my friends now, I guess. I guess we should start off with Sylvie, our elven bard, one of glamour and fashion. Truly an unstoppable force of nature.
Oh, you don't have to go that far.
What? But it's true. And then we have Cradle.
Thirstwell says, I do like the color of your hair, Sylvie. It reminds me of an ocean breeze.
Thank you, Thirstwell.
And of course, we cannot forget Cradley, our bunny here, our lovely little person, which, truly, if I may say, thank you, Cradley. I don't think I would be where I am right now if it were not for you and all of your kindness.
Their soul
Thank you very
says,
much.
their soul says, I, I always want, you're the first Herringon I've met, Crayley. I know that there are more of your kind out in South Foot, but Mother never allowed me to go visit the outer city.
Well, you should absolutely visit. My mother's, out there now by herself. I'm sure she would appreciate some company from a friend if you're ever bored.
Well, now I have to find new ways to fill my time. I'm sure that I would love to go and visit your mother whenever I can.
I'm sure she would appreciate it, as would I. And you're more than welcome anytime.
Well, thank you. That means a lot to me. I know that you've recently lost some family, and so have I, and although our families were likely very different. I'm mostly happy because, if I'm being honest, none of the rest of my family was ever too kind to me, or too kind to the rest of the denizens of Baldur's Gate, really. They were still my family.
That's hard. But I don't know, it shows a lot for your character, Thirstwell, that you grew up in that environment and you came out to be such a nice person.
Well, thank you. That's very kind of you to say. It wasn't always easy growing up with them, but I felt much less alone when Dolos came along.
I felt the same way as well.
That is so fucking sweet.
Oh, and I almost forgot about Mavathor, our mysterious fourth member, found in the dungeons out of your state. Your state? Your state.
Well, I know that Mavathor had been doing some work for Mother. I have to say he was much braver than I to turn his back on her when she tried to order him to do less than good deeds, I suppose. I commend you for that, Mavathor.
Thank you. I had to draw the line in the sand somewhere, and that was the final straw.
Well, your courage has inspired me, and I hope that I'm able to draw better lines myself.
And it does bring up a important question. What do you plan to do now that seems like we may be traveling to El Terrell now?
I don't know, really. I sort of admire older Ravengard. I don't know if he would allow me to help him reorganize Baldur's Gate, but I suppose some sort of civic duty would suit me. I suppose I could always try and find employment at the Silver Spire. I do know quite a bit about magical enchantments, and perhaps there could be a place for me there.
Anyone would be lucky to have you, Thirstwell.
I agree. Your brilliance is one of a kind.
Your kindness makes me a bit uncomfortable, but I appreciate it.
It goes both ways.
It's something I'll have to get used to.
Me too.
What are all your plans now? What do you expect you'll find in El Terrell?
I'm not sure, but I think it's fair to say having a a devil is the leader of that city can't mean anything good.
That is still a mystery that remains to be solved. Thavius Kreeg hid in the shadows as something.
Certainly is a mystery. Did we ever find out why he was so interested in that artifact?
I don't believe so. I think maybe he thought it contained answers to something.
What do you think, Mavithor? I mean, you wield it now, maybe something has come from that. I'm assuming it's magical in some way, but I don't know.
Yes, it is magical, but I have yet to actually define its true intention or purpose. If there is even one.
Can I, like, is there a possibility for an insight roll?
I was gonna ask the same thing.
He did have that
I
drink
don't
earlier
know.
from the Silver Spire, so he is telling the truth.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Well, you do know that
Hmm.
the shield wants you to take it to El Terrell. That is specifically asked that.
Yeah, but well, he doesn't know for like what purpose it wants to go there.
Yeah, I guess just to be bathed in the light of the companion.
Which is about as open ended as it can get, but
Yeah.
What about you, Thiswell? I mean, you were with Thaddeus for the longest between all of us. Did he mention anything?
Um. When Thavius arrived, Mother cast me from my laboratory, and although I did hear him shouting at the shield for hours in Infernal, I never heard him receive a response. Uh, he was shouting at it to reveal its secrets, to speak to him, to offer him some guidance. It sounded as though he believed that the shield possessed some sort of hidden knowledge. I don't know. I wish I could be more helpful.
I mean, I just find it kind of funny. I don't think an inanimate object like a shield could talk. Maybe some weird projection thing, sure, but I don't know. I find it kind of fun to think a shield could talk.
Well, there are legends of magical artifacts that possess some form of sentience. More often than not, they have some magical entity trapped within them. I would be shocked if that's what Mavithor carries now.
Yeah, that's certainly been an interesting development.
apparently other people think the same thing with the Knights of the Shield, thinking that it has some form of higher value, which makes me believe that we should try even harder to keep it away from them if it does have such value.
But why would it have such value? I mean, magical artifact as a shield, certainly, but I'm just trying to wrap my head around it. What is so important about this shield?
Thurswell says, all I know is that Mother had it stolen from the Hune family. Some weeks ago. I suppose that it was likely at the request of Thavius. But, it appears as though Mother kept many secrets that not even I knew about.
That she did.
But, I hope that it doesn't get you in too much more trouble.
Let's hope not.
Eventually, Camilla returns. She says, well, how are you all feeling? Are your bellies full? Do you have enough room for dessert?
Always.
Of course. You have anything blueberry flavored?
She says, I have something even better. She brings out a small chocolate cake. She says, it's been infused with magical flavors, and you see it's like topped with some edible golden leaf. And she then she has like a little wooden bucket, and she scoops out some ice cream onto the top of the cake, which kind of, as she scoops it out, the scoop of ice cream kind of like bursts into a little flame that's like flickering around it. And she says it's a phoenix feather vanilla ice cream.
It's delightful.
But she kind of leans down and she says, but if this doesn't interest you, I do also have blueberry pie.
You must
I
have
mean,
quite the magnificent kitchen back there.
She says, I've hired one of the most talented chefs in the city. Yes. I imagine that soon I'll probably have to expand the dining room.
well, maybe we can take a blueberry pie to go.
Ooh.
See Thurswell shaking his head. Yes. She says, well, just let me know whenever you're ready, and I will take you to the baths.
After we'll stand up and say, I think I'm ready for some time, and I'll follow.
Sure, yeah, you guys finish up your meal. She kind of leads you across to the other side. Through some washrooms, uh, into a large bath. There's like these deep emerald green floors with 4 large bath basins. You see they have 3 large tubs, and each one of them has like bubbles just like overflowing out of the sides. One of them's got like a bath full of like purple bubbles spilling out. Another one's got pink bubbles spilling out, and the third one has blue bubbles just like spilling out onto the marble floor. You see like a middle-aged tiefling woman resting in the corner of the pink bubble bath. You see perched on the edge of the blue bubbled bath, you can spot like a little warty green skinned demon with big buggy eyes. It's got thin little black horns and a whip-like tail. He's kind of like popping little bubbles as they like float up in the air with his tail. He, when you guys enter, he kind of like flies over to the corner where the tiefling woman is laying. She's kind of like watching you all as you come in. She says, Mavathor, the blue bath is extra hot.
Thank you. Is there a changing room?
Yeah, the room that you just passed through is kind of like a washroom, change room. There's an attendant in there that can help you out of your armor.
I don't need one. And then I just kind of like shift my glamour weave into like a bathing suit.
Nice.
Yeah, he'll excuse himself and go into, I assume, one of these little private things to start changing. I'll take out the bag of holding and stuff all the important stuff into there.
Cormilla says, yes, if you have any valuables that you need locked away while you're bathing, we can accommodate that for you.
Absolutely. And once he's changed down to, I guess, a complimentary bathing suit, I assume.
Yeah, they have like swim trunks and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'll walk out and hand off the bag of holding to, well, whoever else wants to put their stuff in it.
Sure, I'll take that. I will go change as well.
I take Fang and I kind of morph my glamour weave to have like a little like sheath,
Sure.
and I put just Fang in there and then give it the rest of my stuff.
Cormilla says, well, take your time. I've got to attend to the other guests, but you're welcome to stay and bathe as long as you like. There's a sauna as well, just over there in the corner, in case you need to steam away your troubles. And I will come back and check on you all in a bit.
Thank you.
I hop into the tub with the tiefling woman.
Rayleigh is morbidly curious and wants to dip his toe in this one. So
It is very hot.
Oh, let's just.
oh fuck!
Yeah.
Yeah.
You believe you might require some innate fire resistance to withstand the heat of that tub, Krayley.
Okay.
You see Mavathor just wade into it,
It's
and
just right for you, Mavathor, yes.
he sighs.
The woman says, don't be shy, dear. It's plenty of room in here. These bubbles are lovely, aren't they?
They are. I've been hearing rumors going around. Are you from Candlekeep?
Indeed, I am. And I think that I recognize the four of you. You don't happen to be Captain Nighthawk's wards.
Yes, we are.
I believe that I was supposed to meet with the four of you later. I just arrived and I thought I'd wash the road off of me before our meeting. I hate the dusty travels that kick up. My name is Sylvira Savakis. You must be Sylvie.
I am. So Lightheart said that you might be able to help me with this soul coin I have.
Oh,
It's
you're in
been
possession of a soul coin.
Yeah, it was shattered into 3 different pieces, and it contained my sister's soul in it.
Mavathor, did you put the shield in the bag of holding?
I did, but well, before he did, he would have asked the shield if it can shout to him if something happens.
Okay. Sorry, Sylvie.
Oh, you're good. I basically tell her everything I know about my sister being trapped in there and like not being able to communicate with her after it got shattered.
She says, well, I'm sorry to tell you this, it is likely that if a soul was bound to the coin and it was broken, that soul is most likely wandering lost. Probably sent back to whatever realm the soul was originally bound in the coin from. Unless it was transferred to some other vessel at the moment of its breaking.
You think it's possible that she was like transported into like some other like coin or something?
Not to say.
Is there any way I would be able to like know for sure if she was able to go to a Vandor?
I could examine the pieces for you, but in most cases, I would have to say that the soul is likely lost.
Is there like a specific place that lost souls go?
There are many places that lost souls can end up. It just depends on the soul. And, there's like a little... Like, nearby you, you see like a little bit of water bubbling up. And like there's a little patch of the bubbles that like clear away, so there's just like a flat surface of water. And you see like the outline of a little creature begin to kind of like emerge from the waters. At first you see like a little pair of like feathery wings, and then like a golden little trunk, peek out, and you see this little golden creature pop out of the water, and it like squirts a little bit of the water from the tub into your face, Sylvie. And it says, "You've lost something? I'll help you find it." And this little golden elephant like sprays some water in your face, and then the little like bulgy-eyed demon like flies over and dives onto the little elephant and like pushes it back under the water, and then they're like thrashing together, and you hear hear Sylvira say, "Jezebel, let Lulu go." And the little demon like pops back out of the water and like sticks its tongue out at you and then like flies back over to the ledge, and the creature like comes back up out and is like spitting water out, and it's like and it like blows its trunk at the little demon, and it pops back out and says, "Sorry, did you say you lost something? I'll help you find it." And it like it like flies up this tiny little. It's tiny, like it's probably like the size of a squirrel.
Oh.
Oh,
I don't know if you could help me find what I'm looking for. My sister's soul might be lost.
Lost soul? I'm a lost soul myself. That might help. And Sylvira says, "Sorry, Lulu's a recent companion of mine. She's a little confused a lot of the time."
Aren't we all?
She says, "Whenever I lose something, I start to look for it the last place I saw it. Where's the last time you saw your lost soul?"
At my house. Very old house. And then inside a coin. But I looked at the coin and it's not there anymore.
Well, she says, "Well, I know you sound discouraged, but don't worry. Lulu promises to help you find your lost soul. I'm Lulu."
I'm Sylvie.
"Hi, Sylvie."
I like your name.
She says, "Thanks. I don't remember who gave it to me."
Well, whoever gave it to you has good taste.
She says, "Sylvira, can I help Sylvie find her lost soul?" And, Sylvira says, "I don't know about that, Lulu. I don't think that you want to burden our new friends here. You're quite a handful."
If she wants to come with, she can come with. We're always
Sylvira
looking
says,
for new friends.
"Are you sure about that? Lulu is quite the handful. She's very forgetful. She's hard to keep track of. She's pleasant enough, and she's almost relentlessly positive, but,
Well, I think that's something we can use a little bit more of in our group.
well, I have to say that, she doesn't get along very well with my familiar. It would be a bit of a favor to me if you could take her off my hands, but it is quite the responsibility.
Of course. I'll take good care of her.
Well then, I will hand her over to you. If anything, maybe she'll bring you a bit of luck.
Yeah, maybe.
He says, sounds like it's settled then. And she, like, flies over and is, like, flying around you at her head. She, like, lands on top of your hair. Sylvira says, Captain Lightheart sent me a letter. He says that he'd like me to take a look at something they've found here in the city. But he didn't tell me what it was. I'm sorry that I can't be more helpful about your lost soul situation.
Oh, it's alright. I kinda had a feeling that
When we're dried
They're
off, when
probably-
we're dried off, perhaps I can take a look at your broken coin. Maybe do a bit of scrying on it. At the very least.
Thank you. I would appreciate that. Then I call over Mavathor.
He'll poke his head out from the apparent mound of bubbles and say yes.
I think she wants to look at your shield.
Oh, okay. Well,
She doesn't say anything about the shield.
oh,
Not yet, anyways.
I had a feeling.
Well-
I had a feeling that's what she was like talking about, though.
oh, okay. Well, did he overhear this conversation?
Who?
Mavathor, did he overhear the conversation between Sylvira and Sylvie?
Yeah, you guys can all hear what they're talking about.
Oh, then you would have context of like, no, she didn't. What are you talking about? She didn't say anything about Shield. He'll get out of the.
She says, he did mention in his letter that you guys had an encounter with Zariel. Is this true?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mavathor is like wiping himself off with some towels.
She says, tell me, what was it like to be in her presence?
Terrifying. To say the least.
Give the same assessment. Being in the presence of a creature so powerful, I think it would frankly scare anyone.
I've been monitoring devil activity in Baldur's Gate and El Turel for months. That's how I found LuLu, actually. She was wandering near an abyssal portal that opened in the Fields of the Dead. Just to the west of the city. She has no memory of how she arrived there. She has no memory of anything, really.
Is this portal still open?
No, I managed to close it, but not before some demons spilled through. I'm still trying to track them down.
Did it seem like
But,
the demons had a goal?
well, abyssal portals are unpredictable, but your sighting of Zariel confirms my suspicion that something bad is happening. I fear in the coming days, more portals will likely begin to open. It appears as though the blood wars are upon us. I never thought I would live to see them spill out into the world. But it does happen.
Avatar will finish drying himself off and walk over and say, you'd think some of the gods of the upper planes would care more about demons and devils spilling out into our plane.
Well, I wouldn't say that they don't care, it's just that abyssal hordes are unpredictable, and chaotic. And Asmodeus is as crafty as they come. The blood war is here. I dare say that Asmodeus has a hand in it in some way. And, he's always been known to be one step ahead of the gods.
Hmm. From what the Van Vampers said, it sounded almost like Zariel was working of her own accord, that she was, in a sense, just trying to achieve the end goal no matter what.
Well, from what I know of Zariel, she's a creature of action. Asmodeus has always worked behind the scenes. He views everything and everyone as his pawns. Zariel is confrontational, to say the least.
Yeah, we kind of got a little hint of that.
Yeah, we did. I'm sorry. Are you saying that Asmodeus might be the reason the blood wars are spilling out into our realm?
Well,
Plane?
no, the abyssal hordes act of their own accord. It's an unpopular opinion, but by my calculations, Asmodeus has always been at the forefront of battling creatures of the abyss. Asmodeus views himself to be the lord of everything. The abyssal hordes were to spill out into the world, and they would turn everything into nothing, and Asmodeus would lose control over what he views as his. It's a complicated thing, the Blood Wars.
So, as a reaction to the demons coming, Asmodeus has decided to take a more active approach now, perhaps.
I would say that he would be forced to. I mean, all the devils that live are under his command. Most mortals don't know that Asmodeus and his devils are the first line of defense against the abyssal hordes. They can be a bit more bureaucratic, I suppose. It is in Zariel's history that is what caused her fall from grace. She grew tired of the celestial caste arguing about what to do and decided to take things into her own hands. Perhaps she viewed Asmodeus as a better vessel in which to take the fight to the demons herself.
And that doesn't ultimately solve the problem of how we, or what we need to do to resolve the issue.
Well, if
What would we need to do?
if Zariel's appearing here on the material plane, and bloodshed is rising in the city, it might mean that Zariel is once again trying to amass forces for a fight against the Abyss. I dare say that she's on a warpath to recruit mortals once again in the fight against the demons. But her tactics won't bode well for those of us here on the material plane, that's for certain. News of Thavius being in her service doesn't bode well for us either. I've always been suspicious of Thavius myself. No one has wanted to hear my concerns of Thavius, but because he's always been widely regarded as a hero who saved his city from the undead scourge, giving rise to the holy nation of Eltergard. He's always been hailed as a savior. He even made all the citizens of Elturel swear an oath called the Creed Resolute, which binds them to defend Eltergard. I met him years ago, but my instincts told me that he was a charlatan. I guess he must have cut some sort of deal with more powerful devils. Now that Thavius has fallen, it's possible that he used the Creed Resolute to bind all of Elturel to his dark deal. I've
I was about to say.
I've always wished to prove my theory, but I need more evidence. I suppose that's why Ulder might be heading to Elturel. And perhaps that's why him and your captain have sent for me. Maybe they have uncovered some sort of evidence.
Perhaps, but that still doesn't ultimately explain what we're going to do. Like, do we go down into Avernus and talk to Zariel, sit down, have some tea, ask her very kindly, can you please stop invading the Primaterial? We really, it's very disruptive to our very daily lives.
I suppose that would be one way to go, although I would dare say that Zarya would more than likely try to bend all of us into her fight against the Abyss. I can't say that she wouldn't be wrong. I suppose that if the Blood Wars are truly at our doorstep, we're going to be forced to fight one way or another soon enough. I suppose we'll have to see what Ulder and Captain Lightheart have discovered or uncovered.
Oh, I would agree, but you guys realize we're in a bathhouse, right? I feel like having discussions of war and the world ending, the blood wars. Can't we just relax and enjoy ourselves and not be
You
so
sure are
tense?
sounding
I feel
Does
like I am.
does it seem like anybody's been, I don't know, listening or eavesdropping?
No, I don't
Question.
mean secrecy. I mean, I think we need to stop this conversation and enjoy the moment before we really get into this.
Lulu's like kind of like floated back down off of the top of your head, Sylvie, and she's doing like a backstroke with her wings in the water. And then she kind of like stops and she's like floating on the surface there, and she gets this look on her face, like her brow furrows, and she looks like she's trying really, really hard to remember something. And she goes, "Wait, I I remember something. I I was with the angels, Ariel, when she assembled her army of Hell Riders to attack Avernus. Through the gate we went, tearing through devils like a song through air. Victory was in our grasp until some of the Hell Riders betrayed us. They retreated through the gates and sealed it behind them. Before she was captured, Zariel told me to hide her sword so that it wouldn't fall into evil hands. Someone helped me hide the sword. I don't remember who it was. We found a place to hide it. I don't remember where. I escaped Avernus. I don't remember how I did it, though. Most of my memory is gone. I don't remember why." And then her wings like flop into the water and she sinks a bit, and she like pops back up and she like looks at you, Sylvie, and she goes, "Hi, I'm Lulu."
Oh my goodness.
Mhm.
Uh,
And she like
Hi,
goes,
Lulu. I'm Sylvie.
"Oh, oh, yeah, I'm going to help you find a lost soul."
Yeah.
Ah. And she goes back to like backstroking. She like dips her trunk in the water and like does a little spout in the air. And she's like waiting.
okay, that's cute.
It is so cute.
We'll take a little mid-session break right there.
Okay.
That made me
Okay.
dizzy. All right, take a little 5. We'll be right back.
Okay.
guess I could brew a cup of coffee. No, I won't do that. I'm not gonna want it.
Thank you.